Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1. I have my latest and maybe my final video for you. I'm excited to get this out to you. I can't wait to show you some of this code I've cracked I've been looking forward to cracking for a while. I knew it was there. The Lord Jesus showed me that it was there, and now I finally think I have it. So, and this may be, prove the whole thing. So, and again, we'll find out in a couple days. It's pretty crazy. So I'm gonna deep. I'm gonna get deep. Yeah, I'm gonna dive right into this deep. Okay. So here we go. So I want to say happy election day. I'm sorry. I actually meant happy selection day. Happy selection day, everybody. Happy selection day. Because if you don't know, this is a day of selection. Today is November 8th, selection day. If you don't know it's actually selection day, not really an election day, then I'm sorry. If you don't know that, I'm sorry to be the one to report to you the truth that, trillionaires run this world, 13 families run this world, and they're about to crown their king, this clone I call AntichristObama, or I call Stinky BO, the 44th Prez. Many silly names because he's a silly person and a really bad person. So it's selection day, and it's about to kick off some incredible stuff here, some really bad stuff. So, and guess what? As a result, Thanksgiving is canceled. So, again, I'm always doing my best to speculate on what's going to happen. That's what I do. That's what the Lord's called me to do. I don't know the end, from the beginning like he does. He gives, all of us breadcrumbs on the trail. He gives us hints. He gives us codes. It's the glory of God to conceal a matter, the Bible says, but it's the honor of kings to search it out. And I'm just searching it out. And I'm going to get into a couple different things about kind of what I do here. So those of you who are not familiar with what I do, check out my last basically 3 or 4 videos, and it will kind of cover the similar numerology for this time frame, because I thought I might have been starting on the 1st of November, but I knew that I had to cover that, but I was pretty sure that it was going to be off a little bit, because the numbers like 1111, they're never really what they say they are. Okay, so 1111 is really 1120, and that's the mega tsunami days we hit both coasts. So, and if you want to know all the details, which I'm not going to get into in this video, that I have in other videos, look in the pinned. I'll have the exact timeline pinned to the top of comments on this video. The latest, greatest version of what's going on here said to kick off, or I'm saying my video is going to kick it off, or my video is saying it's going to kick off tomorrow, which is 11/9 to 11/10. I call it the first day. So it's each day, attack day is a 2-day process, if you don't know that already. So again, happy selection day, and let's move on. So, as I've said many times in my previous videos, according to Freemasonry, the rule of Kalel is a Kabbalistic rule of Kalel, states that one digit can be added to or subtracted from the gematria value of a word without affecting its value. This seems to modern ears be a cheat. However, the Kabbalists explain the rule by pointing out that to them 1 was not a number. The monad symbolizes the divinity and could come and go as he please, adding nothing and taking nothing away. So, and so I'm going to do that here and there, but that's not the main reason I bring this out, just to show you that there is rules in this thing. And you see this symbol right here, which I'm going to attempt to crack and break and show you in multiple ways how this is a code. This thing right here, this bad boy right here, okay? Also, when there in gematria, the thing the Lord showed me about, he started showing me really, I've been doing this gematria stuff about 4.5 years, and he's really showed me stuff that even I've had 2 former Freemasons tell me, Jay, and I'm not going to say the other one, I'm just going to call him Jay, not going to say the other one at all. They've confirmed for me that I have basically understood more than they did. And so a lot of their teachers above them understand about it. And it's just what it is. It's all the Lord Jesus, not me. It's not me. It's the Lord Jesus. That's it. He's just showing me this stuff over time. And so 4 is hiding 2 and 2. 6 is hiding 2, 2, and 2 because of what you see here. Okay, 4 equals 2 plus 2. 6 equals 2 plus 2 plus 2. So keep that in mind this whole video. And also, another secret thing is 0 is hiding O. When you see a 0, that's a big reason why. Again, I'll say it again. If you're looking at like an area code for Hawaii, which is 808, people don't say, do you say 808? Most people say 808 because it's been in the media that way and everything. So we shorten it. It seems like it's easier. They look the same in a lot of ways, but saying 808 is saying 8 and then the value of O, which is 15, or 1 plus 5 is 6, and then 8 again. So in that situation, or maybe, if you go into college or something, you might have English 101. But, in the military, they actually say 101. But most people are pre-programmed in culture and everything to say a 0 as an O. So in many cases, and that's showing you that they're hiding that. And the English language is all about that. It's all about mega meanings, multiple meanings for the same thing. They're putting a spell on you when you spell. When you're spelling, you're watching programming that's programming you. I mean, all this kind of things that's in part of, written into English language is designed that way. And I'm going to show you a few things in here, but that's what I've shown in my videos for, again, 4+ years, that all these words mean things. Even in words and colors are dates, these final dates. And it's just been a matter of trying to figure out what time and what date it's actually referring to, because there's so many things that can mean multiple things. So I'll get into this and show you. So, and also the idea of predictive programming. This is my definition of it. Compiling all kinds of understanding of predictive programming and my own experience. I think I know it extremely well. And it's important that you realize that predictive programming is basically it's self-fulfilling prophecy for the masses. So the masses are told something in the media and they believe it over time, and then it ends up happening because they believe it. Their own belief or their own faith has made it happen, the masses. And so it's all lies. It's all lies what the enemy puts in these programming. Again, programming is, media. We know it from TV shows and stuff like that being programming, but we're talking about movies and, everything you think of, commercials, books, everything, music videos, everything. So predictive programming is a subtle form of psychological conditioning woven into the fabric of all mass media, designed to subconsciously program and or consciously acquaint the public with pre-planned societal changes, ideas, or events. These changes, ideas, or events eventually become reality, largely because the public over time has already become programmed and or familiarized with them, accepting them as natural, in quotes, natural progressions, thus eliminating virtually all possible public resistance, commotion, or investigation. That's pretty much, in a nutshell, my definition of predictive program based on my experience and what I know, and I think that's completely nailed. So just so you know, if you didn't know what it is, that's what it is. Okay, boom. And then this is my channel on Telegram. It just says Exalted Lamb 1. I'm going to put a link in the description box if you want to join. It's through your phone. You get a notification on your phone if I would have any future videos. But the biggest reason to have that is I post here and there. I post, things I work up with gematria, with different news stuff and everything. And you'll be able to see that. And also just keep in tune. Like they may take my, YouTube channel down at any time and all that stuff. So, and the Lord wants me to mention this again. I haven't mentioned it for a little while at different times, and I want to also mention my description in this channel is having no part in the worthless deeds of darkness, but instead exposing them. And that's Ephesians 5:11. And we're coming up upon the symbol for 5:11, which is 14:11 or 11:14. So 11, 1 plus 4 is 5. That's the real 5:11, I believe. And we'll see how that is. But it's always been about concealing what it ultimately is. And so they have all these numbers that mean all kinds of things. And so it's a matter of, over time figuring this out. But also we're get to the point where we're getting there. So it's being more revealed. And the Bible says that it's sealed up to the end. Okay, the information's sealed up to the end, as Daniel described, is sealed up to the end. So as we get almost to the very end, then that is being made known. And we'll see what it is. I'm not saying I know for sure at all. I never have, never will. And it's about speculating. It's about warning. And if you can't get that, then, go somewhere else. If you can't get that, for example, let's say you're sitting in a coffee shop with a friend. Okay. This is how it is, okay? And I'm the kind of guy, if I'm sitting with with a friend in a coffee shop, let's say we're sitting in a booth or something, and then I can see behind him, he can see behind me, we're sitting in a booth, and there's an aisle right there. And let's say I see a guy that's coming up upon our booth, and he's got a baseball bat. He looks really angry, and he's looking right at my friend, and my friend's got his back to him, and he's coming at him. He's coming. He's maybe coming slow or not super fast, but he's coming. And I can warn him. I could say, hey, look, this guy's looking at you. Who is this guy? And tell him whatever. But then boom, then I don't. And I'm doing my own thing, whatever, talking to him. And then he gets bam, 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 hit. Next thing you know, he wakes up in the hospital, and here I am. And he's like, what happened? And what happened? Oh, this guy just beat the heck out of you, whatever. And do you think he wouldn't realize that I should have seen something? He would, well, didn't you see what's coming? Oh yeah, this guy was behind you, and he just probably, oh man, he almost killed you, and then don't you think he would be wondering, or feel betrayed that I didn't tell him? And that's also the idea that people have about God. They think he allows these things to happen when he's screaming, trying to tell you that something behind you, and you're not listening. And the problem is people are not listening, and he needs people to scream to them because they're not listening to him. And he's called me to scream to the rooftops as best I can. It's coming. The tsunamis are coming. The attacks are coming. The meteors are coming. The false aliens are coming. The children will be taken. That's coming. All the innocent children in the world will be taken. That's coming. Just because you can't hear it or can't actually find it in the Bible doesn't mean it's not there. And by the way, under my video in the description box at the very bottom, I always put the links to about 3 different links about the 144, about the scriptures or in the Bible about how the innocent children are going to be taken, and the scriptures that support that, and also multiple raptures, the scriptures that support that. So people that don't know the Bible, unfortunately, which I come across, most people I come across ever in my life don't know the Bible, really. I've studied it for 30 plus years. I know Greek and Hebrew, and I'm not just saying that to, my own horn. It's to tell you that, it's about Jesus. The Bible should lead you to Jesus, and Jesus should lead you to the Bible. And they're both super important. And if you don't know Jesus, you don't know the Bible. And if you don't know the Bible, you probably don't know Jesus. So that's it. And you need both, because there could be all kinds of people that say they know the Bible, but they don't know Jesus. And so they become puffed up with their own knowledge, and then they're going a different direction than Jesus. And that's not the point. The point is the Bible says, who's the guy that you should know and should know you? Who's the guy that hears your voice, or that you hear his voice and he knows you by name and all that stuff? There's all this stuff scripture in about that. They're like, oh, Father, or Jesus, we cast out, demons in your name. We did all these miracles. Yeah, but he said you didn't know me. What about that? Or how about the 5 wise and 5 foolish virgins? Here comes the bridegroom. He comes and he's like, oh, I'm shutting the door. And then to the foolish virgins, oh, you can't come in because you didn't know me. I mean, get a clue, people. And the time is now. Time was a long time ago for you to get, but right now, if you don't get close to Jesus and know him, and here's a clue. Let me give you a clue. I never planned to say any of this stuff right now, but the Lord's putting it on my heart like big time. Big time. He's saying, share this, preach this. I'm like, okay, Lord, here's a clue. If you're not doing something that you don't want to do, that's right, then you're probably not listening to Jesus. And if you hardly ever do that, then you're probably not listening to Jesus. If you're not doing things that you don't want to do that are right, okay, then you're not listening to Jesus. If it's not constantly happening, and eventually you get used to it, and you just eventually do it, and then it becomes second nature. But in the beginning, when you get to know Jesus, he's telling you, do this, do this, do this, and it's a bunch of uncomfortable stuff that you don't want to do. But if you do it, then that you're exercising your faith, and you're trusting him, and you'll see. At first, it might look like folly, and it will look like folly. Oh my goodness! And it may seem like folly, feel bad. I've been homeless several times because he told me do this and do that. And then next thing you know, he brings you and he lifts you up, and he shows you how you saved all these people, or you changed in your heart and you healed. It's about healing. It's about getting closer to him and everything. So anyway, moving on. He just wanted me to share that. It's about getting close to him. And if you're not close to him, then, that's the whole point of life. It's the exact whole point of life. So moving on. Sorry. Okay. So not sorry, but, moving on. This symbol, okay, is what I'm going to crack. The Lord brought me back to this. I dealt with a couple years ago, I think. but it wasn't quite there. I didn't quite have the understanding I had, and I wasn't brought to in the first place. He brought me to there, and all of a sudden he just starts putting this in front of me, and it's supernaturally, I'm just, what? And then he just showed me, started digging into this, and then it just came. It was just, I couldn't believe what he was showing me. So I'm going to show you, and just buckle up, Buttercup. Here it's coming. Here it goes. Ready? Are you ready? Okay, so this is a puzzle. This is a puzzle. Puzzle? Puzzle, you say? Puzzle? Yeah, it's a puzzle. Okay, puzzle. And by the way, back, like you said, back in February of this year, he started showing me that the queen was going to die. Okay, and then I started talking about it, and he said Isis is born on 210, and I'm going to show you what that means and things like that. But then he started showing me that when you combine the normal gematria, a particular cipher like English, with a reverse, you'll have the month, day, and year hidden all together. And it was just phenomenal. I mean, and how many 22s and 2022s I found. It was far more than any other possible year that you could imagine. I mean, thousands of them. I mean, I've done thousands and thousands and thousands of workups of gematria that have narrowed this understanding down. And if it had not been for the Lord, he divides off. That's the key to understanding a lot of stuff and getting to truth. He divides off the stuff that means nothing or means very little. And that's it. Without knowing him, you can't divide off. And you'll get so, weighed down in stuff that doesn't matter and is not true. And he's the key to dividing off the stuff that doesn't matter and cutting off the stuff that doesn't matter, cutting all the fat. Okay, so puzzle right here is 106 and 56, but right here, boom, you have 10 right here. See 10, and just think of it as one thing. It's one number. So you have 10656. Okay, that's it. Boom. Then we have 11 right here. This is more obvious. I'm going to show some that are a little bit more obvious and some that are a little less obvious because they're there, but some are super obvious. I mean, they have the exact numbers, but they don't do that. These people are moved by demons. These demons who came up with this language in the first place, English language, which is completely of the devil. I mean, it's not even close to being good in any way. And God came up with Hebrew, and yeah, all kind. It's just the English is so manipulative. It's so manipulative. It's so deceptive. It's so error filled. It's off the charts. It's so error filled. It doesn't even make any sense. I remember going to school when I was a kid, and I'm like, I before E, except after C, and all these stupid little rules. Everything that they contradict each other. They don't make sense. Words look the same, sound different, and words that look different sound the same. I mean, there's just so many things. There's so many meanings for the same looking word. I mean, and it's all to deceive. It's all to deceive. I guarantee it's all to deceive people, and it's all about gematria as well and what it's saying behind the scenes. Okay, it's all about multiple meanings. Okay, so we have 10, 11. So then what do we have left? We have 6. Again, remember 6 when I showed you the first was 2, 2, 2, or 2 plus 2 plus 2. So we have the first day of 11, 10, 22. And I'm talking about, there's a timeline that's 14 days, but we have a pre-day and a post-day, which makes it 16 total days, okay? And then I'm going to get into, this is the first day, 11-10, which I thought recently was 11-1, because you take away the 0, but now I know that, I'm pretty sure now that it's 11-10 with the 0 and 22. And then the pre-day is 11-9, so the first day is 11-9, 11-10, and Trumple will announce, I'm saying, very possibly, if assuming this is the right numerology, it's going to come along this numerology somehow. It's going to be some version of this numerology. It's going to be 11-9 and 11-10 is going to announce it. I'm going to show you a number of things to support that. So, but puzzle is 11-10. It's also the last day because, so we have the full word in 106 and a reverse for 56. We also have the words in its own letters spelled out here with the numerology here, the cipher. So we have P equals 11, right? U equals 6, okay? That kind of thing. This is actually in reverse. I could do it forward and it would show you some of the things, but this makes it super simple right here to show you what I mean. So this is the first day, and this is going to show the last day. Very simply, very easily. It's right here. 11 right there. 6 plus 1 plus 1 is 8, plus 15 is 23, and then we have 22 right there. There you go. So how do we have the first day and the last day? I mean, and I'm going to show you this a bunch of times, and in my previous videos, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of times. The similar numerology. Okay, if I could speak here. So boom. Okay, and then another thing about this symbol here is saying symbol for a reason right now. Okay, is a lot of times it's depicted in a circle because these are angles. These are obviously, this is an angle, this is a right angle, this is 90 degrees, and this is something else. It's there's some different versions of this, but the real version of this is 47 degrees. Okay, that's even a little bit off, I think, but this is the actual most accurate, 47 degrees. So it's in a circle because it's an angle and it's telling you something. So this is 47 degrees. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this up, this top one. I'm going to do it reverse. Everything reverse of what they do. And that's what they do. They do everything reverse of God, reverse, backwards, upside down, and backwards, whatever. So every kind of reverse you can think of. And then they'll tell you that in reverse, and it's really the opposite of that. Okay. And so I'm going to show this in reverse just to make a point. So this like A structure here, you know, so I could, which it's going to turn upside down to like a V, but we still have the same angle here. Across here is 47 degrees. We have 47. Okay. And then we have this one, the 90 degree right there, and that's a 90 degree right. Now I'm putting this on the bottom. Okay. Just flipping this upside down. Okay. So you have 47 degrees and 90 degrees, and that's what they're showing. And they mean a lot of different things. Some people know what they mean, certain things they mean, and I'm not talking about that, but I will touch on some of that. Boom. So we have 4 plus 7 is 11. Just simply 4 plus 7 is 11, and then this 9 is 9. So we have the pre-day of 11, 9, and then remember 0 is O. Okay, 0 equals O. And what was O again? 222. Okay, so we have the pre-day tomorrow. Okay. Excuse me, of 11, 9, 222. I had a little bit of dry mouth. Remember to take a drink for a second. Okay, so, and I'm going to prove this out in many other ways. Now, we also have a G, okay? A G equals, you know, typically it equals 7, okay? Just a standard G. We're not going to talk about anything else right now, but we will. I'm going to show you some other things about this G. So 7. So now we're adding 7 to this, okay? And 7 to that, 11, 9, it makes 11, 16. So that was the pre-day, and now this is, technically, it's the 7th day. Because the pre-day is not the first day. The first day is 11, 10. And then 7 days later is, because you count the 10th as the first day. And the 7th day is 16, or 7 is 1 plus 6 is 7. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully. And that is the demise of Stinky BO. I've said, and it's in all this media and all this evidence, just that's all out there. I'm not going to show even a fraction of that. I'm going to show a super small fraction of that. I'll say that I've ever shown. I share symbolism, gematria, all kinds of different versions of predictive programming. Go from numbers to symbols and you know, in everything, in all kinds of media and everything. So, but that is his demise, okay? Because that begins a process of him coming back to life. So they believe that death is life or rebirth, and then he will be reborn a few days later. So let's keep going here. So again, we have the 47 degree, and then what do we not see? We don't see the 313 degrees that's left over. So this is an acute angle right here, 47 degrees. Then we have this obtuse angle right here, which is 313 degrees. Well, what is that pointing to? Is that just like this was pointing to 11? Is this pointing to something? Yes, but check this out. This is crazy. Again, this is where the Lord led me, and I'm just like freaking out. 313 in this situation is secretly showing the 313th day of the year. Well, what is that? That is 11-9. Remember, I just showed you that this with 90 degrees was 11-9 and then 2022. Then we have, is this a massive coincidence that what we don't see out of the 47 degrees, out of 360 degrees, at the 313 degrees is 313th day, which is 11-9. November 9th is the 313th day. No, it's planned that way. It can't be coincidence. And I'm going to prove it time and time again on this video. Next thing is, boom, 90, wait, let me go back here. Okay, then we want to show, so again, these are, this is the, you know, the opposite of this, which is, you know, the rest of the angle, okay, or the rest of the, yeah. And then we have this one here, which is the other way. This is the 90 degrees here, represented by the square. And then, but I'm going to show you the opposite. So remember, this 313 was the opposite of the 47 degrees. So I'm going to show you this, like it represents the obtuse angle, but even though this would be more, and then we have 90 degrees being the opposite of, you know, the balance of that, this would be 270. Okay, but we're going to show these opposites. We'll show this 313 and how this 90, they relate. Okay, again, this is the opposite of the 47 degrees, and then this normally would be 270 degrees opposite 90. We're going to show you this 90 with this one. Okay, so Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so watch this. So the 90th day of the year is what? It's the 31st of March. And that just happens to be 313? Nope. Nope, not even close. The 90th day of the year just happens to be the 31st of March. Okay? Crazy. Okay, boom. So this is showing in multiple ways 11-9. Excuse me. Okay. So then we have 47 degrees. Also, now we're going to this other thing. So we had the 3 of 13 and the 90. Now we're going to have the 47 and the 270. So, and again, they seem opposite of each other because they are. One is the actual what you actually see, and one is the negative space that you don't see, but they're also the opposite of each other. So, but that's how they do this stuff, to hide it. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. The 47 degrees is the 47th day, and what is that? Well, it's February 16th, or 216. Does that look familiar? Stinky Beale's birthday is the 216th day of the year, August 4th. Beale is the butthead, the Lord of the Buttheads. Okay, as I call him too, many names, because he's earned them. He's one of the worst things ever made. Okay, and then again, so we have 270, which is the opposite of 90. Okay, to show that 270, and then we have the 90 here. So this is the 90-degree angle, and this is the balance of it, and the obtuse angle of 270. Okay, but now we're going to put these two together that don't go together, because this should be, if we have 47 degrees, the rest of this should be 313, and then if we have 270, the rest of this should be 90 right here. Okay, but we're doing this odd couple, and the other odd couple. So we have this as part of the odd couple. The other part of the odd couple is the 270 degrees, which is the 270th day. Are you ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Okay. It's September 27th. Well, what is that? Okay, I'm going to show you. What do these two have in common? Very simply, they're both. So this is 2 is hiding 1 and 1. So you have 11-16. Again, that's November 16th. We just showed you earlier how it was November 9th plus the G is 7, and that makes 11-16. And then right here we have 9 plus 2 is 11, and then we have a 7. And then there we go. And then these are both the same thing, because 11-16 is 11, 1 plus 6 is 7. So this is the code, as you know, this store called convenience store that's been around for a long, long time, and it's been pre-planned to be there for a long, long time, called 7-Eleven. Okay, and also when Trumple was campaigning to run for president the first time, or well, the only time, I think it was like in 2016 or maybe early 2016. I can't remember. He said, "I was down there at 7-Eleven when he was referring to the attack that happened on 9 and then 1 and then 1. Let's say it that way in code." But he said 7-Eleven because septem is 7 in Latin. So when you say 9 and then 1 and then 1, or then 11, then it's really September 11. So he was hinting at the actual day that Stinky Beale will die, which is 11, because he's the Donald John Trumple, John the Baptist he's kind of like an antithesis to him instead of the real supportive one, but he's like the good cop to his bad cop, Stinky Beale's bad cop, or he's the bad cop to Stinky Beale's good cop, depending on what side of the aisle you're on, of what side of the aisle of the selection you're on. Okay, so okay, this is just incredible. I mean, I'm gonna keep going to prove this out even more. Watch. So again, we have that 11-16 that I showed you earlier, remember? So we have 11-16, which is 11-7, and this is just chance, and this just happens to be in these different ways the same numbers? I don't think so. Okay, now I'm going to show this as well. In previous videos, I had, again, Stinky Beale, as I just said, is 216. He was born on the 216th day of the year. Again, 216 is also 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. 216 also has the form of 201, like Event 201 that happened back in 2019, October 18th, which is 10:18, and Jesus said in Luke 10:18, I see Satan is lightning falling from heaven, Barack Obama. Lightning falling from heaven, or lightning from heaven, is Barack Obama, and that just happens to be his birthday, which is 666. That just happens to be 2-1. We have 2-1, and then remember I said O is 6. O is 15. O is 15, and 1 plus 5 is 6. Or, like I said, Jesus gave me a really quick dream back in February of this year, and you said Isis is born in 210. So now I'm pretty much sure this is finally it, but we'll see. So 210, 216, and 201 are all 1116. And so earlier this year I thought it was February. Okay, February 1 and 1 is 2, and then first, and then 2022, or even February 1, and then there's a 0 in here, February 10th, 2022, whatever. But now we're running out of the time, and so we have this left, and other reasons why. There's other reasons I'm going to get into, and I've gotten into. So and then that translates to 11 1. Again, 6 is 222, or this 2 comes over here, and that's the beauty about 2022 and why it is 2022, no other year, because 222 can be separated, and this 2 comes over here, and it not only is the first day, this is symbolic of the first day because it's the first day of November, but it's going to actually be something else. I'm sure in a second. So the first day, and then this 2 moves over, and then you have the 12th day, which is in New York would be the 12th day. In Hawaii, depending on your time zone, would be the 11th day, and those are the tsunami days. That is the actual birth of the Antichrist, when CBO comes back to life from his death on 11/16, which this also means 11/16. So not only does it mean the first day of 11/1, or I'm going to show you again what it is. It's 11/16. It's right here. And by the way, in Greek, in Greek Strong's Concordance, 11/16 is Bama. Sticky Bio's in a form of his last name. Remember I said Barak, Bama is lightning falling from heaven, and Bama is the heights or heaven, and 1116 is that, and then Barak is 1013 or whatever, which is a version of August 31st. Anyway, even October 31st. Anyway, okay, so moving on here. So what this actually is right here, because the 0 is not here, but it's actually 0, 10, 11, 10, 22. And then this, so if you go like the 12th day from this day, then you have, boom, 21. So that is, this being the first day and go all the way to the 12th day is, and it ends up taking 12 and turn it backwards. So it's 21. So the tsunami day in New York is now 21st. Hopefully that makes sense. So now, when I'm talking about the symbol, compasses versus compass. When looking at the term square and compasses is what it's really called. And after doing research, I needed to do more research. So I did a bunch of research. Lord was guiding me to do more research. And it's actually called, most people don't know this, when you look at the symbol, it's called square and compasses, even though it just shows one compass. It's crazy. It's all deception. There is often confusion around whether or not compasses is correct, as many believe it should be referred to as a singular compass. Of course it should. However, in Masonic ritual, the correct usage is in fact, compasses as cited on page 162. And I'm not going to get into all that. I'm just showing you that that's what it is, and you can read that for yourself. You can look that up, compasses and compass, if you want to. Okay, what is the square and compasses? So now we know it's compasses and not compass. This symbol consists of 3 core elements: the square, the compass, and the letter G. The square and compasses are considered to be the tools of architect and builder, which are used to teach the lessons of symbolic lodge, to understand the meaning of the whole. It is necessary to break down the significance of each element. Okay, boom. So we have square and compasses of what it is. So what I'm going to do, and what is logical, because these people are Kabbalists and they believe in the power of the number in the letter, and they are, they do use gematria and everything, and they, as predictive programming and everything, then it's going to naturally, the words and stuff involved in the symbol, like what is called square and compasses, are going to equal these concepts I just mentioned and thus prove or massively support what I'm saying already about these angles and everything. Here we go. Ready? Remember, Isis is born on 210. It's also 216. And then remember the angle 270. Remember, 270 is 27, and then 0 is actually O, which is 6. Okay, and that's supported right here. See, we have 216 right here, when we have angle 270 right here, and that's really 210. Isis is born on 210, or the Obama's birthday is 216, 216th day of the year. There you go, 21, and that's hiding 6, or 270 is over here when that's hiding 6, and it's right there. That's there's no way that would match. Okay, let's keep going. Hey, again, back to here. But then there's many other gematrias of the same exact phrase, square and compasses, that support this, including this one. I'm going to just show you another one here, that this is, like I said earlier, not only 1116 or 1110. Again, it's 1110, the first day. Watch, boom. Square and compasses in English extended and reverse is 1110. Remember, 6 is 222. Okay, again, 6 is also 222. So we have 210, 222, but even more specific. I mean, there's literally been versions where it's 222 right here, or 24, which is 2, and 4 is 2 and 2, like I shared earlier in the beginning. So we literally have the first day again, 11, 10, and 6 is hiding 222, 2 plus 2 plus 2, or 222, 2022. Bam. Okay, and there's so much more in these. And then square and compasses with the G, because there's a G in there too. You add 7, and it just remarkably, not surprisingly, adds 7. So we go from, remember we had 11:10. We also had 11:9 being the pre-day. We had 11:16, and we have 11:17 as well. That's another one now we're dealing with, because 11:16 is when he dies. 11:17 is when it's reported his death. It basically happens later in the evening or later in that day, and it's really reported. They have a happening day, and they have an event day and a reporting day. And this is also the day that the attack happens on Trumple in Manhattanzels with the Nukesels. When he's in Trumple Towersels. I'll say it that way. Okay, my Zols. Okay. And then we have squares. So we had compasses, now we have square. And is it a coincidence, a massive coincidence, that in the word square is 272727, which is hiding 270? Again, it's hiding the 0, but it's right there. Remember, I just showed you that square, the opposite of the square, which is 90, is 270, and that just happens to be 272727, and 270 out of 360, which is 270 out of 360 degrees. And what does 270 out of 360 degrees get you? It gets you the square, which is the real angle, which is 90, or 8 plus 1 is 9, and add a 0 to that, which is 90 degrees. And these are all in there, and it just happens to be in there in the word square. These are all ciphers, and 3 of each one that just happen to be in square as ciphers. Please, that's not a coincidence. Then also compasses by itself is 110. Okay, remember what's 110? 110 is 1 1, and then 0 is O, which is 6. Okay. We could take 116, put it upside down and backwards, and we have 9, 1, and then 1, like the attack day, 9, 1, and then 1. But it's not even really about that. 9, 1, and then 1 back in 2001 was never about that. It was about what's coming. It is about all these 14 days all have that same numerology in some way and hidden in different ways. But it's a multiple prong effect that's going to completely eventually wipe out the Babylon USA. The same name. Babylon USA is the same thing. Okay. Boom. All right. Babylon. Okay. I'm going to babble on. Okay. So that, or you just flip the 6 to a 9, which they consider a 6 to 9 anyway. And that's November 9th. And what is November 9th? It is 133. Or remember I said it was, in that one situation, for the degrees, it was, March 31st, or just switch the 3 and the 1. You have 330, the angle 313 equals 313th day of the year. Just switch that and that. They do just one switch a lot of times. 313th day of the year is 11/9, and that's all encompasses, and that just happens to be there. No. Okay, so like I said, 11/9 is 313, and the 90th day in that 90 degree angle is March 31st. Please. I mean, seriously. And then compasses also, full reduction is 29. And then remember, 2 is hiding 1, and 1 and 1, and that's 9. Again, there's that way. And then what's also encompasses? Boom. Well, first of all, let's go to November 9th, because that's what that's showing secretly, with 2 9s showing 11/9. So look at that. There it is, 313 again. Remember? I just showed you that. Now, is there any way possible that makes any sense? If you know numbers all, most people don't know numbers a ton, but if you know numbers all, there would be the balance of this year in here, and it would be equal compasses. It would be just so off the charts, almost impossible. But there it is. So the balance, so the 313th day of the year with 52 days left over just happens to be 11/9, okay, November 9th. And the balance of the days after 313 is literally this, what this equals encompasses. No way. That's absolutely planned. And as I'm showing you more and more and more, it becomes more and more impossible when these things add to each other that they're not planned. I mean, this it goes off the charts. We're talking millions and millions to one at this point. Boom. And then so like I said, compasses is 11. Remember 6 is upside down 9, or switch the whole thing upside down and backwards, was 9 1 and then 1, or 11 9 11 9 11 9. And that's in full revert or English normal, English ordinal, and full reduction. And then we have reverse English. We have the exact day of the day of the year, which is hiding 313 with 52 days left over, and that is 11 9. 11 9, 11 9, hidden. Kind of hidden, but this is the exact day because they can't hide every single thing completely. They hide it mostly, but it just happens to be this that. Please. And backwards, it's that day, which is the March 31st. Please. Okay. And then I'm not going to show you their description of G, but G, Masonry believes it's called the great architect of the universe. Okay, the G represents that. That's why they say it's in there. So again, this is all gematria. It's not just the number G, the letter G, which means a number, or like 7, and I'm not sure what else it means. It's also the all the the words mean there's ciphers or their gematria of other meanings. So here we go right here. So great architect of the universe. I'm just going to give you a few examples of this just to make certain points. Right there, what do we have right there? We have 2. 9 plus 7 is 16. Remember that 2/16 earlier, or February 16th? Or we also have, again, September 27. Do you remember that September 27? It was September in the middle of 27, and there it is, September 27th. Remember, these two, both of these were right here. 47th day is the 216th day of the year, and the 270th day is 9/27, and they both just happen to be part of this, kind of hidden in great architect of the universe. I don't think so. And they're both end up being 11/16 and 11/7, which is the same day in a sense, but that's symbolic of this is the real day. I don't think so. Okay, boom, let's go. Okay, so that's what that is. Now, what is this? Well, naturally, let me go back here. Remember, we have 270 right here, and that's all related to this as well. Remember, 270 day of the year is all that. Now, what else is related to this? 270, that 270, what's 135? Half of 270, exactly. Half of 270. So that's that is related to 270 because it's half of 270. If you put a line down the middle of it, it's got half and half, 135 and 135. Okay, by the way, 135 plus its reverse, 531, is 666. And there's only 2 3-letter numbers that do that. 234 plus 432 is 666, and 135 plus 531 is 666. And they love to use those. So for a number of different things. So anyway, and then what is this? Let me show you. Oh, what is this? Okay, what does this have to do with? I'm going to show you. This gets a little bit more involved. Now watch. What's 143? Okay, ready for this? So here we go. What's 143? It's a question mark, but I'm going to reveal what this is and how it has to do with these other things. What's 143? So again, we're looking at 47 degrees, and then this opposite, which is 270. Okay, again, this 47 degrees, the fill-in of this would be 313, but again, we're looking at opposites. This 270 is the opposite of the 90, but these are odd couple that go together, okay? And now we'll watch this. Now we're going to take this symbol again, show you what it also means. There's a center line right here, which is 0 degrees, and then we have 23.5 and 23.5. This actually matches some things that are already been created, like the equator is at 0, and then the Tropic of Cancer and the other one or at 23.5 degrees each one. So this represents the equator, and this represents each of the other lines. I can't think what it's called now. Tropic of Cancer and the anyway, whatever. Okay, maybe I'll think of it. Okay, so but what's going on here? So can we, like we did with these, can we equate these to a day of the year? Yes. Now it could be. I'm going to just go do it this way. With a point like that, it's the 23rd of May. I'm going to use that. And with that, is that going to mean something? It does right away. Boom, 23rd of May. Okay, on May 23rd. Okay, now what I'm going to do here, boom, I'm going to take this and make this circle, okay, make this circle like a calendar. So imagine on one side of the year, you have 523, and then we have 6 months to this date, and then this date 6 months back to here. So it's halfway. Again, it's the opposite. So what would that date be? It's 11/23. That's the last day. What I'm saying. It just happens to be again. Nope, it doesn't happen to be. It's all planned. Okay, keep going here. Boom. So now we have back to this. We have this angle right here, the 47, and then we have this angle, and it's represented by two different things. We have the 90 or the square angle that you see, and then we have the 270. That's what's left over of this full 360, 270, what you don't see. Okay, now, but this is what we're going to do to confirm this even more, this 11/23. We're going to take 47, and we're going to take that, and that's 11 like we showed earlier. And then we have 9, okay? And then we have O, hidden as O, which is 5. Sometimes I call it 6, which is 222, hide 222, or it's just plain 15, because O is a 15-letter alphabet. So 9 plus 15 is what? 24. 11/24, 11/20. That's the last day, and that's the post day, 11/24. And to even confirm that even more, now we have this angle, which is very much so much like this, because 2 plus 7 is 9. In fact, all these angles end up being 9 anyway. It's weird how that all works, how the 9 ends up being in everything and all this stuff. Okay, so but right here we have another way of looking at this is we have 11, and then we have 27 plus O is 15. 27 plus O is 15. 27 plus 15 is 42. So I have two ways of showing 24. 11/24 and 11/42, or backwards, 24th of November. So we literally have 23rd and 24th. Hopefully that makes sense. The last day and and this is all in here. See? Okay, this is so crazy. Okay, so what are we saying? What is 143? It's going to be a roundabout way to get there, but I had to show you this first. So the 143rd day of the year is May 23rd, what I just showed you. And how May 23rd is 11/23, and 143 is right there. So that's referring to kind of roundaboutly, it's referring to May 23rd, which is 23.5, okay, and which is half of that 47 degrees. This is the other half of the odd couple. The other half of the odd couple is 270. Half of 270 is 135. So in a sense, this is half of the 47, and this is half of the 270, the odd couple here. 135 and 143. It's crazy. There's so much going on there. Here I could go. This is a deep well of stuff, but I don't want a 5-hour video. So this is absolutely crazy. Now watch this. Now notice this 143. Okay, again, this is half 47% in a way. Okay, because that's 23.5 is May 23rd. Okay, and then this just happened to pop up as 222. The balance of this. Okay, that's not a coincidence at all, because we're looking at this year. I'm seeing 22 or 222 in so many things. It's just off the charts. Never have I seen so much in 4+ years of doing this. Never, not even close. I mean, we're talking about like 30, 40 times as many things I've ever seen about this year than any other possible year. Okay, in everything. So there's something else with this. And I knew there was, so I'm like, is this going to confirm this, or what is this going to do? So as I looked at this more, and I said, is there any way this can be confirmed? I look at this, and I'm like, oh my goodness, look at this. So, oops. So if you basically go, this number is compressed is it's a couple different things, 3 different things. It's 5-3. Okay, so 5-3. The 53rd day of the year. Oh, what did I do here? Hold on. Move this. I gotta move something over here. Okay, the 53rd day of the year is. Whoa, what happened here? Well, that's weird. Why isn't this moving? Oh, it's having me draw on it. Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh no. I don't even know how to do this. Oh shoot, I opened up something I didn't know how to do. Oh no, that's not good. I don't want to do that. Oh, whoa, this is weird. This is a feature of this thing I didn't even know, and now it's causing me kind of a, hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, if you see this dot up here, I don't know if you can see this dot up here, but it just changed. Something's changed with this. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. It got to where I could actually write on the screen. I didn't even know I could do that. It comes with I have a Note, Samsung Note, I think it was the very last note they made. And I will not trade it for anything because it's amazing with the pen and everything. And I do so much on there. And there's a feature had to click on this little thing, and then I did on accident, and it gave me the ability to draw on the screen. And oh man, I'm gonna have to mess with that. That's crazy. And now I'm doing it. Now I'm figuring it out now. Anyway, okay. So sorry about that. So we have again, so 1 + 4 is 5, and then 3. The 53rd day of the year is, can you believe it? February 22nd. Exactly 2, and then where an O would be 2, 2. I mean, it's incredible. And then now let's do it a different way. So we have 1 + 43 is 44. The 44th day of the year is, guess what? 2/13, or February 13th, and February 13th becomes 2/13 is 1 + 3 is 4. That's another way of looking at this. Again, 2 and 2 and 2 is 2/4, or 2/4. And this is tons of time, and this is in tons of ways a year. I mean, this shows more than anything else some version of this for hiding the 2022. It's crazy. Now check this out. Not only is these are the days of the year, okay, that end up being these. This is a version of that. The day of the year with 53 days left over. Okay, the day of the year with 53 days left over is literally November 8th. Okay, and then this gets even more freaky. And then this day with 44 days left over is 11/17. 11/17's is the day with 44 days left over, and then 11/8 is the day with 53 days left over. And see how they are the same again? 1 + 7 is 8. They're both the same date. This is symbolic date, which is the blood moon date today, and the election day, and then that's what the actual day is. It's crazy. This is so crazy. The other way of doing this right here, the last way of compressing this, is 1 and 7. Okay, making a 2-digit number. You can bring it down to 8, whatever, and that's another way of looking at it, because that would still be 8 would be the 8th day of the year would be January 8th, and that would be 1, and then 8 would be 1 and 7. So you could look at it as 11/7. Anyway, whatever. But if I do 1 and then 4 + 3 is 7, that's 17. Oops, 17. Okay, what's the 17th day of the year? Boom. January 17th. The 17th day of the year is January 17th. That's January 17th. Again, I just said January 17th. And then what's the day of the year that has 17 days left over? December 14th. This is so crazy. December 14th. So this ends up being this time right here. So literally, do you see this? So with the first day of the the day of the year, the 53rd day of the year with 53 days left over is the day of the year, for the 53rd day of the year with 53 days left over is 11/8/2022, and the 44th day of the year, 44th day of the year right here, the 213, which is 2/4, with 44 days left over is 11/17, so 11/17/2022, and 11/8/2022, 53 and 53 first and left over. I mean, it's just crazy. And then 17, hopefully this makes sense. 17th day of the year right here and then the day of the year with 17 days left over is December 14th. Now, why is this crazy? Watch. So we have 11, and then this is backwards 17 right here. This is backwards 17. With a ruler color, you can take away any one, and then again we have 24 representing. And I've told you represents 2, 2, 2. So switch that to 4 is hiding. Remember in the very beginning I said 4 is hiding 2, 2, 2 or 2, 2. So we have 11, 17 is backwards 2022, and there's 11/17, 2022, and 11/8 is 2022. I mean, hopefully that makes sense. It's incredible. This is incredible. I mean, there's no way this could be. So again, let's look at these days again with this odd couple of the 47th day representing the angle and the 270th day representing the 270-degree angle. That's opposite 90-degree. And then we have this odd couple again right here. And then this is showing you, I mean, this showed me, okay, when I looked at this, I'm like, I just looked at it as like lines, and I'm like, or angles. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a grid pattern here that it just stuck out. There's the Lord, man. The Lord is so amazing. I mean, I didn't even know how I got here. Sometimes, like, I'm down, like, it's like, did you ever walk somewhere and then maybe the woods or something, and the next thing you know, I mean, you're thinking about all kinds of things. Next thing you know, you're somewhere else, and you're like, how did I get here? Or the weirdest one is when you're driving, and then you're like, you don't even remember driving almost. Like you were so into something else that it kind of ever freaked you out. Like you were driving and then you kind of forgot that you were driving almost. And then when you got to your destination, you're like, I don't even remember really driving because you were thinking about something else. And it's so second nature driving. So you just do it without really thinking, or not much, maybe it's some, other kind of thought that's in the background or something that you don't know. But then you get somewhere and you're like, oh, that sometimes it might freak you out because, wow, man, was I really thinking about traffic and really thinking about safety? And, it's freaked me out at times, but it's part of what happens with that. It just becomes so second nature that it becomes in the background. So anyway, it's like this. It's like the spiritual stuff. It becomes so second nature. You just don't know how you got here sometimes. You're just like, what? How did I time warp to this spot? How did I get to this spot? How did I figure this out? How did the Lord show me this? I don't know. So he showed me this. Now watch this. This is what I'm talking about. This is freaky. This is so freaky to me. Well, these are two angles. So again, this is also an A and a V, and I'm not going to get into all that. There's so much. Oh, I get into that too. Oh my goodness. It means so much more too. Okay, so boom, this is the grid I'm talking about. Literally, I see things like this sometimes. Okay, so this thing's, but then me and I'm going, okay, we want it backwards. So we're gonna do this backwards, opposite backwards. So boom. So you put this, and I just have this doesn't connect right here for a reason. So I'm gonna see this a little bit better. Okay, so this is tripping me out. I showed this over here already because I want you to show you this thing. Because again, we have the 270 represented by the opposite of this, and we have the 47 representing by exactly this, 47 degrees represented by exactly this. And so look at this. This is incredible. This one is showing this, which is 9/2/7, September 27th. It's incredible. And then this one, which is, this is the opposite of this 90-degree angle, showing 6/8/4, which is not a date. 6/8/4 is not a date as far as, day and a month and a day. So I just changed it to 6. 8 plus 4 is 12. Okay, that's what's that. I just highlighted the 927 from this thing. So then 6 and 8 plus 4 is 12. What's 6/12 or 6/12? The exact backwards of this. Boom. So this is highlighting that. That's highlighting this. In a diagram, it's showing it in another way. I'm like, what? That is a diagram pattern. That is. Oh, I don't even know what you call that. What do you call that for you? Probably engineers out there. I don't even know what you call that. That tripped me out. It's confirming this even another way. That's phenomenal. Okay, so again, I have 11/9, the pre-day. And then all the way to 11/24, whatever, and 11/20, but 11/24, the post day. So we have these 16 days exactly covered. And if you don't count the pre and the post, you have 14-day birthing process. This is an iPad Go with the Apple roll. And then we also have from when Jupiter exited Virgo between the legs, from the Revelation 12 or 14 days before the Revelation 12 sign, Jupiter went out between the legs, out of Virgo's body in a sense. Okay, and that was on 9/9/2017. And then 14 days later, mimicking this idea of the 14-day birthing process, became the Revelation 12 sign on 9/23/2017. So on the other opposite side of this, with all these days in between and weeks, like I said, it's 266 weeks plus 2 weeks to the birth of the Antichrist, which is 11/20. And the 266 weeks went from Revelation 12 sign, as I showed in my previous videos, to October 29th, which really begins. That's really the beginning of all this, the veil getting really thin, and the Day of the Dead. It was the very beginning of, All Hallows Eve and all that stuff. And then it went into the Day of the Dead. So it was really 29th, 30th, 31st, and then 1st, and then even like the 2nd, I think. And then that's really the timing on that. And then it's telling you it's about to happen. We're getting right into it. You'll see. But anyway, hopefully that probably doesn't make sense, but because it doesn't completely make sense to me, but I have a feeling of it and everything. But okay, so boom. Now let me show you this. This is so trippy. It so tripped me out. Even more proof of this that just blew my mind where the Lord led me. So again, we have these two angles. Okay, now let's just go back to the normal couple of, not the odd couple. We have the 47 degrees and the 90 degrees that everybody can see. They're tripping me out. Okay, now, but what else do we not have here? We talked about G being 7, but G is also, that G is a capital G. So in English gematria, capital G or small g is the same number. However, there's a differentiation with capitals. There's Frank Baconus or Francis Bacon. Those are two types, and they use capitals differently. It's a different scale. So in Frank Baconus, they use it as it's every other. So small a is 1, capital A is 2, small b is 3, capital B is 4, like that. In the other one, they go 1 through 26 is small a through small z, and then 27 through 52 is capitals. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So there's a differentiation with capitals with these guys. So what is it? What is capital? You notice it's a capital G, of course. So capital G in Frank Baconus is 13. And then, of course, capital G in Francis Bacon is 33. And then we got that, the ominous Freemasonry 33, of course. And a lot of people know, a certain amount of people know this already. Okay, but what they don't know is what I'm going to show you that's just off the charts, mind-blowing. And it'll maybe blow the brain out of the back of your head. I don't know, but it did for me. It took me a while to find it. Okay, so it was bouncing around on the floor, whatever. Okay, so bam, 33, okay, of course. And then what's crazy about that is that 47 degrees plus 90 degrees is 137. Oh, yeah, whoop-de-doo, what's 137? 137 is already 47, 47 again, but it's also, 137 is the 33rd prime. Okay, so it's not just that. So again, this is all thought through and demonically. So what I already showed you there's no human being that coordinate all these dates and everything with these angles and all that. I mean, if you think so, you need to check yourself. I mean, seriously, check yourself. It doesn't make any sense. You obviously haven't thought it through, or even, maybe you haven't had time to think it through, but it's impossible. The intricacy of all this and the way they do these things, and then over the years and how this is all comes together through all these groups and things, and for hundreds and thousands of years, it's incredible. The only thing running through all this commonly is demons that haven't died, and they're still around, and they're behind the scenes doing all this. It's very crazy. Okay, so moving on here. Okay, so what's my point here? So now I'm going to take this G, the 13 value of G, okay, 13 value of G, which is 13. Okay, here it is right there. I'm going to use that. We already see the 33rd prime and the 33 and all that. I'm going to use this 13. Now watch. Now, we're going to go back to what I've said in previous videos. This was a massive sign that was the Blood Moon Tetrad in 2015, okay? And these are the different dates. In fact, again, the miracle of what this was Passover and Sukkot. Passover and Sukkot. The exact dates of these exact feast days in Israel, feast days, and based more accurately on the Torah calendar, they are the feast days, okay? The exact feast days. And the first and the last feast day, which is impossible unless somebody up above or coordinated it that way. Okay, it's like how, think about this. Okay, if you think this is no big deal, I mean, again, you need to check yourself, because there's no way that could happen. How is the moon completely synced, a blood moon completely synced to the Jewish calendar being first and last feast day exactly? That's impossible, okay? Use your brain that God gave you. If you don't believe in the God, well, use your brain that just came from a primordial ooze and, went up to, walking things on the beach and then whatever. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I mean, you have to have more faith to believe that than someone who actually created everything. And here's another reason for that. I'll just give you one of many, but how is it that something that's the size of the moon, okay, and then something that's 400 times farther than it the moon would exactly cover it up, or even to the point of covering up where there's a perfect little ring around it, and in other kinds of eclipses? That's impossible. I mean, how would that completely coordinate? What are the chances that it would be that exact distance away, and then also would be a coordinating thing that covered up? And by the way, the word the word sign in Hebrew is number 400, and it's represented by an X. X marks the spot, and it's the value of 400, and then the sun is exactly 400 times farther, which makes it possible for the moon to cover up the sun. I mean, anyway, you got to suspend some massive reality, and you got to completely not deal with real thinking to believe that is just circumstance. I mean, seriously. Not to mention all the other thousands of things out there that you've ignored about how there's no way that this could, things could have just happened and they weren't just created by some kind of intelligent design. I mean, it's just it's mind blowing how spiritually and mentally aloof you must be if you believe all that stuff. Okay, it's just mind blowing. Okay, and you haven't thought it through, or you have an axe to grind from past trauma, past issues with people and things like that. But that's it. Okay, so most people I've ever met that were atheists were bitter. They have a certain level, including me. I was an atheist up until I was 18, and I took all kinds of college courses in high school and stuff, humanities and all kinds of stuff, Darwin's theory of evolution, all kinds of stuff. And then I went to one of my teachers and I said, okay, how do you, I was just honestly asking, okay, how do you explain the transitional forms in the fossil record? And then my teacher said, oh, and then like just pulling something out of his backside, okay, said, oh, well, some people believe that one form gave one form gave birth to the next form, and that gave birth to the next form, and so it wasn't little tiny changes, micro changes over time. I'm like, what? Like, what? You actually believe that what? A fish gave birth to an amphibian or something, or what? I mean, and there's no transitional forms of fossil record. There's no little micro transitions. There's none. The things couldn't survive. I mean, anyway, I'm getting off my, soapbox here, but it's just crazy. It's mind blowing what people will believe because they have an axe to grind. There's the reason why they're believing it, because they hate God for some reason. Typically with, they have typically everybody I've ever met, including knowing myself, everybody who's been really stuck on, not believing in God somehow. And, that is because they have had a bad experience with people who believe in God, or they believe God has been bad to them or something. But really deep down, they know there's a God. And that's what the Bible says. Deep down, everybody knows there's a God. And because there's no excuse, the creation is just creation. It literally says there's no excuse. Just creation. The evidence of creation is, so you're literally going to stand in front of Jesus at some point. Every single person in the history of the world will stand up in front of Jesus, and he's going to go, and they go, oh yeah, but this happened to me and this, and he goes, creation. My Father made creation to be the perfect ultimate witness that there is a God, and the fact that you're not acknowledging it, that's my prosecution. I mean, that's all he would have. I mean, that's all he'd need to have, creation. Okay, because if you really looked at it, you see how intricate and beautiful it is, and how it's impossible that just happened, and it's just preposterous. Anyway, sorry, I don't know why I'm getting on this, but it's just in my heart right now. So okay, anyway, so we go to that, the blood moons here, okay, the tetrad blood moons of the exact midpoint. Again, let me go back to this. So this is a birth. Have I shared before? This midpoint here is, and it goes to this first one and it goes to this last one. It's 266 days either direction, from the midpoint to the first one and midpoint to the last one. And that is the birthing, what do you call it? I've had 4 children with my wife. It's called the gestation period basically of twins. Okay, 280 days is for a single baby. For twins is 266, and that's why the Pope is the 266th Pope, because he's about to oversee the birth of the Antichrist, and then ultimately the birth of the man-child into heaven, which is the good part and everything, which he actually kind of represents, because he's in white and he's a male and all this kind of stuff, and Obama's in black and he's a female, whatever, male and female, whatever. So anyway, moving on here. So that midpoint right there is 1/5/2015 right there. Boom. Now we're going to take these. Watch this. We're going to do it upside down. 90, 13, 47. Remember? Check this out. 90 months, 13 weeks, and 47 days is exactly the Antichrist's birth. By the way, 11/11, people that have seen it on clocks and believe that something big is going to happen, it's not. I mean, something might happen 11/11, but it's not going to be the thing that's supposed to be. It's going to be massive tsunamis that herald the water breaking the birth of the Antichrist, and lightning's going to fall from heaven on that day. And I thought it could be 11/11, but I was most likely thinking that that's a code, of course, because like 7-Elevens and all that kind of stuff are all code. 11/11 is a code for 11, and then 1 + 1 is 2, and then it's hiding a 0, because the 11th day from 11/10 is 11/20. Okay, So that's how this works. So it's 11:20. That just happens to be that? I don't think so. Let me show you a couple more. Boom. Now look at, so we had the midpoint. Now, after the midpoint, which matters, the first day is 4/4/15, which is that blood moon for that first day of Passover, the exact feast day on that day. Okay, blood moon. Boom. And then here we go. We have that day 4/4/2015. Now we're going to use just the two angles. Ready? So 90 months and 47 days equals the date again. Well, is that a coincidence? No, I don't think so. Because exactly 266 weeks from Revelation 12 sign as well to, again, October 29th, and October 29th to this day is 2 weeks or 14 days again. Boom, not a coincidence. Again, man, just nailing this thing. And you just have to understand it. Man, hopefully, I'm doing my best to help you understand it, but it's there. It is there. Here's another one more. Now we have, remember, we had the midpoint. We had this day. Now we have this day. Another evidence of that in that symbol. Okay, square and compasses. Ready? Boom. Okay, now we have this. But we're going to just use the 7 and the 47 now. 7 years and 47 days from that last blood moon is boom. Okay, this is another birthday. So we have 11/20 is a birthday. The lighting from heaven. 11/14 is really the first attack day. And again, look in I'm not going to explain everything that happens. False aliens will show up. Bad aliens, the good aliens are going to be on the 24th. And all this kind of stuff. The children are going to be taken on the 14th. Again, if this numerology if this is the time for this numerology, if it's another time, then so be it. But it looks like so many things are lining up for this, and I'm finally getting there, but we'll see. Again, who knows? I don't know the future. I'm not Nostradamus, and I don't think he did either. I think he was given a bunch of clues and things like that from demons that knew something, and they did, whatever. And so he had to talk very vaguely because, of course, he didn't even know either. So anyway, and he was a Mason. I proved it. His name and everything else, his writings, everything were all Masonic, and they actually add up to different things that I've proven that already. But anyway, boom, here we go. Ready? Another one. No, we're going right into just I'm going to go into the first day, and we're going to try finishing this up here. So the first day, again, you can look at my timeline pinned at the top of comments on this video. You'll see the latest with all the different events, and each day, the pre-day, the first day, and all the way each day, all the way to the last day and the post-day. Okay, so again, that's in so many different things, including iPad Go and things. And then I'm showing you just a little glimpse here of some of this stuff. So La Palma volcano will go off, and it's most likely on the first day, and that's shown here in numerology of 11/10/2022. Again, look at the underlying areas to see what numbers those are. Boom. The Orville Dam will break. Okay. Again, if this is the time, this is what it's going to be, when it's going to be. Orville Dam will break in California. The California was exactly opposite to the dam, which was shown in Evan Almighty breaking in Washington, D.C., because Orville is almost exactly opposite of the country to Washington, D.C., the town of Orville. It's absolutely crazy. So 10, 11, 10, 22. Again, we're talking about symbology, and we're talking about movies. I'm talking about all the kind of stuff that I don't really talk about in a lot of things, or at least in this time. So Joe Biden done. That is a doornail. Okay. Again, 11/10, right there. Boom. And then, he's Biden time until Sticky BO becomes the Antichrist. That's it. There's so much to all this. I'm going to give it everything. He's also in the Naked Gun series. He is Frank Drebin, and Drebin is a version of Biden. You take out a 9 because you can cancel out any 9, and the 9 is an R, and so Drebin becomes Biden. It's an anagram. And he's white hair. He's actual stupid, and doesn't, like he's really dumb and makes stupid decisions, and that's all an act. And also in those movies, the president is going to be attacked by a terrorist, and also in the first one, the queen's going to be attacked or killed or whatever, and that happened already and everything. Anyway, so these are all predictive programming, different versions in different ways, and I've shared a lot of things about all these things. Okay, and then as a result of him being dead, she becomes president, and Gerald Ford said that. He said that in a meeting. If I have time, I'll put the link in the description box. Again, he said that basically a girl asked him, is it possible that a woman become president? He goes, I think we'll see that, but only if the male president is killed, and then the woman president, it was a vice president, and then she became a president because he was killed. And he basically prophesied that, and so his name is Ford, and talking about Harris, and that's Harrison Ford. That's why Harrison Ford is called Harrison Ford. And he was in the movie Air Force One, and about a president being attacked and tried to be killed by terrorists. It just goes and goes. I'm just sharing a couple things, but there's just thousands and thousands of things, hundreds of things about a lot of these things. Okay, boom. And then Zelensky, which Zelensky means green in Ukrainian. It means green, and green is go for the first day. Zelensky also, Ukraine also has a flag that's blue and yellow, put blue and yellow together. It's hiding green, which is go for the first day, go for these first 14/16 days, and he's going to be taken out. And whether his name is spelled that way with one Y or two Ys, it's still 11/10/22. And it's on either direction. And one goes one way, the other one goes the other way. And then even his full name, as known, again, his full name is also 11/10/20. And this stuff goes, even his birthday and his wife's birthday, and it just goes and goes and goes. And I've shared some of this stuff. I've shared how he's the comedian, and in the movie The Watchmen, the comedian gets killed first before anything else. Because he was a comedian. He was literally a comedian there. He was also played the president of the Ukraine before he was the president. He played it, and he was an actor and a comedian. He was a comedian, and anyway, that's also the Joker, and Stinky BO was the Joker to Trumple's Batman. And Trumple has said he's told people and little kids that he was Batman. He is Batman. He's a billionaire, playboy, whatever he was for a long time. All that kind of stuff. I mean, it goes and goes. It's crazy. Okay, and then Anthony Blinken will be eliminated. So that is that. And then and I've said this many times, and when one day I saw his Twitter, and it said @A, that's why it's underlined @A, and then Blinken. And if you put them together very simply, I couldn't believe it when I read that. @A Blinken, A Blinken. Do you get this? A Blinken. And was A Blinken shot? Yes. And is Anthony Blinken or A Blinken going to be shot? Probably, or at least killed, attacked, shot with a missile or something. Okay. Are you kidding me? Do you hear me? A Blinken, A Blinken, Abe Blinken, Abe Lincoln. Oh my gosh. This is how they do this. This stuff is incredible. And I'm not even sharing with you a small fraction of the stuff I've talked about and shared about all these people and all these events. And then China is going to invade Taiwan on the first day, because in iPad Go, you see the Chinese tanks coming in, and the first tank has a green for go on a green light. The other ones are red, and it has a green light for go, and go means the first day. Green light for go. Okay, wow. Anyway, keep going on here, and then again, Trump is going to announce on the first day. Okay, and this is I don't know why it says inauguration, but he was elected on November 9th, 2016. Again, Republicans, Donald Trump, Trumple. I'll just say Trumple for different reasons. Okay, so you see the date there, though, November 9th, because the election was just like today. It was on November 8th, but then past midnight, the election results didn't come in, and then it was November 9th, because it would never be on the same day, and that's usually they set this up to be this way. It takes a while. Anyway, so it hits the 11-9 numerology. Now, 11-9, remember, 11-9 is 9, 1, and then 1 backwards. Okay, and he was there during that too, and he was interviewed during that too. Said he saw them hit the towers and all that kind of stuff. Right? That's what he said. So he's involved in that. His life is 9, 1, and then 1, or 11-9. His life is that. So it will come on some version of that, and so I believe it will be this time. Now watch this. Again, he was elected this date. Okay. November 9th, 20. Now, what is this? November 9th is simply 11-9, simply right here, brought right down. And then 2 is hiding 1 and 1. We'll bring 0, 1, and 6 down, but we're going to do it that way, okay? Again, bring 11-9 down here, 11, and then 0-1 is backwards 10. Again, you just flip one thing. They do that a lot, just flip one thing. And then 6 is hiding 2, 2, 2. So literally, the day he was elected, it literally stands for November 9th and 10th, 2022. Believe it or not. And the proof will be in the pudding tomorrow and the next day. It could be as late as the next day that we know, but he will announce minimum. He's going to announce a run for 2024, which is 44, which is Stinky BO, because he's the John the Baptist of Stinky BO. or he's going to be involved in some kind of thing with Israel and try to work out some kind of peace thing with Putin, with Vladimir Putin and Ukraine, and something like that. And it's going to backfire because it's going to backfire, and the Trump is going to be killed, and then it's going to take out all. All the Christians and conservatives are going to like, oh no, what are we going to do? Oh, we put all our trust in this guy. He's going to come. Oh, what do we do? And then they're going to be demoralized. And then it's going to be blamed on Trump and Obama and all these cronies are going to go after all the Christians and conservatives. It's going to be crazy. Anyway, as I said 4.5 years ago, and almost every month since then, he is the Trojan horse of Christian conservatives. And even before the Convid 1984 came out, which he peddled, and it would never have been accepted by even conservatives and Christians if it was Hillary or somebody else that won. He is the Trojan horse. For him to bring that out and be that and put that out for even now children are dying from it. God bless America. Oh, I want to rage because of children. And the Lord's told me that He's taking care of them. They're going to be gone soon. And even if they start to have some effects, or even if some have been killed, they're going to be taken care of 100%. They're going to be in bliss forever. So that does my heart good. But still, how dare you? Oh my goodness, that frightens me. I have 4 children, and I care about all children, and I want them to be taken to safety, and they will. I mark my words, all innocent children will be taken to safety before the tribulation starts. I absolutely, by the power of God and the authority of Christ, it will happen. You'll see. You will see. And then people go, oh, I thought there was no rapture. And then all the children are gone. Oh, okay. Jesus said that will be your evidence that there is. And there will be multiple. Okay. And then you'll shut up and you'll probably be crying so hard that hopefully you'll move your heart to him more. Hopefully. That's kind of the goal, hopefully. Okay. And then Donald Don Trumple. Okay. Again, his full name and each name, I could put that in here too. Each name actually exactly equals 11/10/2022. Is that again, all these massive coincidences? Did I pull this out of some nether region? No, it's real. It's right in front of your face. You can see it. I mean, look right here. Look at this. 11, 10. 1 plus 3 is 4. And what's 4 hiding? 2 and 2. What's 2? 2. And then in this case, the 0 doesn't count, okay? But look at that. It's right there, okay? And then the day he was born, which was on a blood moon, by the way, and then the symbolic for a blood moon was November 8th, which is the day he's really going to, which is the version of November 8th, which is a blood moon today, really, or was today, is 17. So from that day from his birthday to his death day, all preordained, all pre-planned. He was designed to be that person. Look, 27,916. 2 plus 9 is 11. 1, 7, 17, 6 is hiding 2, 2, 2. Literally, the days are hiding the exact end date and his death day. And I have a video in which I might include the link to this video as well. It's a very short video, a couple of minutes long. That's it. But and that's why I have this as the thumbnail for it. But he literally says 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, and holds up a couple of 17 jerseys because he's showing the day he's going to die. And it's the 8th day of the timeline, but it ends up being the 17th. That's why he's prophesied that or said that so many times. 17, 17, 17, 17, 17. And, I got I found some edited version of that, and I added some more stuff to it, and then I put it out as a thing. And all these 17s, he said, people can say numbers and stuff, but to hold up jerseys and, to have this happen so many times, it's not a coincidence. You may think that, but it's not. And you'll find out when it actually happens on the 17th or some exact equivalent to it. It still could be the 8th sometime, but it's more likely it's going to be this time in the 17th. But we'll see. Okay, so, of course, she is gone, okay? And she begins an era. She ends an era, begins an era. That's why they're pushing this whole thing about the Jubilee thing. And again, a Jubilee really, according to Jewish tradition, is really 50 years, and they're hinting that the Jubilee is almost over, and her death is hinting to that the actual Jewish Jubilee is we're in the last Jubilee. Okay, that's it. And also, even more than that, and a couple more things than that, the 70 not just equals years. They were hinting at how many days. So from her, and I was like, okay. First I thought, okay, September 8th is September, which is 9 to the masses, but it's really 7 to the elite, and September in Latin is 7, but it's really referring to November. Novem is 9, which is the real September, okay, or the 9. Okay, so it would be November 8th. Okay, well, that's what I thought it could be, but no, it's not. It's again, it was one step more hidden, so it's not November 8th, it's November 1 plus 7 is 8. Again, that's the demise. That is the reported demise of Stinky BO, because he dies a day earlier, and that's the exact day of demise of Trumple, but it's exactly from her demise to the demise of the real queen, which is Stinky BO, because he's half female, half male. He's a clone. It is 70 days. Okay, that's one reason there. One thing right there, which is crazy. And again, 70 is also in the Bible in several ways. 70 nations went against Israel. I mean, all kinds of stuff. It's a big number for God as well. Okay, boom, they like to rip that off. Okay, and then in iPad Go, she is Lily. So as it's been said, the king, her father, called her Lilibet, affectionately. Lilibet, or Lila Betty White. Lila Betty White. I was almost going to do something about Betty White and how she is somebody else, and she's this as well. And she dies. She died at 99, and that's the pre-day, which is 99 is what 11 times 9, and that's 11/9 the pre-day, and that has to do with the first day as well. And that's when she died, the 99th day. She was also, when Betty White was really young, she was actually without clothing on a set of deck of cards, and she was on the 9 card, and in one corner was a 9, and the other corner was a 9, so that represented 99, and she died at 99. And that's a coincidence? No, I don't think so. And many, many, many other things. I didn't put out a video on it. I found like a ton of things about this that proved that she was an example of Lily and everything. Incredible. And then but really it's Lilibet. But I couldn't for the life of me going, okay, how does this represent the first day? How does her death on the 8th of September represent the first day? And the Lord just hit me with it. Bam, just like across and a loving slap. A loving slap as you can get, with love, like crazy. I'm sorry. This is my personality. Sorry. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but just go away then. Okay. I'm just going to be me. Okay. And that's it. Okay. So he gave me this loving slap. I mean, oh my goodness. It's just so crazy. And this is what it was. Ready? Okay, so let me go this. Okay, sorry. So she's on this floor. And now when the funeral happened, she's on this floor. And actually the chairs are right there, and right there is literally, and then right here it broadens out to be I should have showed you the bigger picture, but I want to show you this and this size. And it literally is a chessboard, which is also a checkerboard, but in a sense, but chessboard, okay? And she's on the chessboard. That's in Masonic temples and lodges. They have this floor, okay, because it's that. What is the symbolic? And then again, her casket, this is an aerial view of her casket during the funeral, and it's on this. And then this is it, kind of from this angle, looking at it from down here. And it looks like it looks like a funky face of something right here with some funky hair. And this is a shirt, this is a dress. Looks like some kind of, it looks like, and if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments or whatever. It looks like some kind of, Cernunnos or something, like the god of the, I don't know, like the funky god of, you know how they're really into climate stuff and everything, like they're all into nature and stuff like that, and like they worship it and everything. It's something like that. You got these flowers, and then there's this is like a being standing here. It like freaked me out when I really looked at this. The Lord just like had it like zoom into my face. There was like a demon with a funky head. There's even little eyes and mouth right here and stuff. It's just crazy. And wearing a funky shirt, and this, like, it reminded me of like a flower child or something like that in the back in the 60s, going in the 70s or whatever. And it was just the spirit of that. It was the spirit of something weird. I can't even explain it, but maybe you'll get that. Maybe you'll feel that or get that from the Lord. I don't know, but it freaked me out. Anyway, I was like, whoa, it was really showing the spirit that she was of, and it was representing it secretly right here. Again, this is the long end of this casket that was suspended, but they were showing this from this direction on the floor, looking that way. It's just crazy. Again, on this floor. She's on this floor, okay? She's Lilibet. This is Lily or Lila Betty White. I mean, good God. And so what is this? Again, this is the chessboard. And there's the chessboard, and the chessboard has how many squares? 64. And it's just a coincidence. Is this a coincidence that from her death to the first day I'm saying is 64 days? Again, that's how her death equals the first day. It's 64. It's the chessboard is 8 by 8, which is 64. She's standing in the first square, in a sense, on the board. And then there's 63 more, and that gets you to November 10th. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Boom. Okay, so that's how this is the first day. So I knew it was the first day somehow, but when it happened on the 8th day, I was like, oh, come on, what's going on here? And again, it's death too, so the CBO will die on the, we reported dead, like she was reported dead on the 8th, and he'll be reported dead on the 8th day, which is the 17th of this month, I'm saying. Okay, again, this is my massive speculation. Okay, boom, next. So what I'm saying on the first day, this is some of the things. I've said a few things already with the gematria, but again, he'll be back. And again, he is in so much predictive programming. All these Johns that come back for revenge, tons of Schwarzenegger movies, and even John McClane, and Yippee-ki-yay, and all this different stuff. John Matrix, I'll be back, Bennett. And I'll be back. That means he'll be back. And many things. And I've shown all this in gematria and symbols and movies and TV and everything else. And so I'm saying 11-9, 11-10 is when this starts. We're going to have this erupt, La Palma, most likely. This dam is going to go. We're going to have possibly this brand new variant souls called Tausels, and we might see a massive. We'll probably see several. We're going to have a whole soup of things. And I said this months ago that a whole soup of different things are going to just hit people, and they're going to say, oh my gosh, it's everything, but there's going to be some main ones that turn people into, like this one is going to probably, or this one are going to be said to turn people into zombies. Okay, I'm telling you, you're going to see on the 5th day it's going to start happening. And whether this is the time frame or it's coming and it's just going to be the exact same numerology, I'm pretty sure we're finally there, but we'll see. Again, I've been pretty sure a few times. So anyway, just to tell you that. So, and then I wanted to mention this as well. Back in February this year again, not only was I told, actually it was in February too. I was told Isis is born on 210. Again, 210 is 1116. Again, which is hiding 11/10/2022. He said, it's time to silence your critics. And I was hoping it was, I'm like, are you saying it's time, like it's right now? Or you do mean your normal it's time, that it could be 2 years from now or whatever? And then he just said, just wait. And I'm like, oh no, it's not, it's time. It's down the road. Oh no. And then, but I was hoping I misconstrued it was that month, or maybe it was another numerology of, 2 or something like that. And I'm pretty sure, we'll see. I don't know for sure, and I'm just guessing, and I'll probably be wrong, but it's very likely it could be this time. So it's time. And then he says, to silence your critics, exactly matches. 2 is hiding 1 and 1. 1 plus 4 plus 2 plus 3 is 10. And then obviously we have 20, 22. Not obviously, but I mean, come on. I think that's pretty clear, but whatever. I mean, we'll see. Time will tell. We'll see what happens on 9th and 10th. Boom. And I know at some point, I believe he will silence my critics, because this stuff that people are saying, oh, false prophet, even though I've never prophesied anything, I always say I was speculating always, and everything else, they're going to be silenced. And when everything, especially when when the children are taken, no one's going to be saying anything. They're going to just be like, bloop. Okay, here we go. Now, okay, first I want to say this too. I want to say, I act somewhat irreverent on these videos to some degree. Once in a while, my emotions come out, and because I've cried so much about all this stuff. I mean, I really have, and sometimes on my videos and stuff, and I'm not ashamed. I'm going to be me, and that's it. If people don't like it, they can go, take a long walk off a short pier, whatever. I don't really care, because I'm caring about people. I'm fighting for people. I'm fighting for my Lord Jesus Christ, and that's it. And, but, no matter if I'm irreverent or not, I'm irreverent to the powers that be that are worth being irreverent to, and that don't deserve one iota of respect, one infinitesimal speck of respect. Yes, respect. Yeah, and so, but my heart is exercised deeply for the people that are going to go through this, or even die. I mean, really, if you really know the Book of Revelation or a lot of some of the prophets, I mean, we're talking about billions of people are going to be dead. I mean, it's no, and this 14 days / 16 days is just going to kick off the beginning of this. At the last day, it begins the tribulation. I believe it's a birth. And if you look at Isaiah 66, it literally says it's the birth of a nation. It's the man-child nation that's going to be born in heaven. And they're going to come back to claim that after the tribulation. I'm telling you, you'll see. And I'm a member, believe it or not. I don't care if you believe it or not. It is true. It is the case. 144 are going to be fighting to harvest in the tribulation, because that's what's going to take. The tribulation is going to take, the tribulum board is going to take to grind down the wheat for the wheat harvest, to crack the shells off people that have not listened to reason. They have not dealt with themselves. They have not healed. They have not come to the Lord. They have not been friends with him. And he is interested in that. And the Lord, our Father, is interested in breaking the shells. He's interested in 3 different main harvests. And the last one is the grape harvest, the harvest of his wrath. And so he's interested in these harvests for different reasons. And people will be harvested of all these harvests. And the first one is the first rapture. And it goes in stages. And then there'll be another one. And there's going to be during the tribulation. And that's going to be the wheat harvest, or the first half of the tribulation. And then there's going to be the second half of the tribulation, which is going to be the harvesting of the grapes in God's wine press of wrath. Anyway, believe it or not, it doesn't matter. So I'm just saying this, and I'm saying that I'm here to fight, and I'm going to continue to fight no matter what. And I can't wait to be with my Lord. But on the other hand, I struggle all the time to do what I can for people and pray for people and do these videos so people can somehow see the truth and somehow see that you are being manipulated. If you don't know that, you're being manipulated by these massive families. You're being manipulated by everything you watch on TV, media of any kind, anything you listen to. And you need to know that, and you need to fight it. And the best way to fight it is with Jesus as your master and your Lord. And that's it. That's it. You're going to choose one or the other. He said, you're either for me or against me. There's no middle ground. No middle ground. You're either for me or against me. That's it. So choose this day who you will serve. And I hope you choose the right one. Okay. He's very merciful. You're going to have a couple chances here, but it's going to, when someone shows up to want to put something in you and you don't have much choice, you're going to either go in the line of your head being taken off, or you're going to take the the hokey pokey. That's the ultimate mark. Then, I know which one I would choose. Fortunately, I won't have to make that decision, because I already made that decision for who I serve, and it's never going to change. And I would happily get my head chopped off easily. So, anyway, that's it. And I want to make a point. And if you want to know Jesus or come to him, the simplest way that I know is Romans 10:9-10. Read that and make it your thing. I mean, confess in your mouth that Jesus Lord and believe in your heart God raised from the dead, and you will be saved. If you actually believe that, if you actually make him Lord and say, I'm done with what I'm doing, Jesus, come within me, do your work in me. I give up. I need a Lord. I need a master. That's the only thing I know, and that's what's worked for me. And people have all the different things they say about it. That's as simple as it is. And if you do those things, and you sincerely are done with your own way, and you want to go his way and do your best to try to listen and do what he shows you, that is it. That is the key to life. That's the key to what God has created in the first place, all the way down to all the way up to Jesus. And it's your only chance. It's your only chance out of this hellhole. The only chance. He's your only chance. So he's my only chance, and I will confess that and profess that until. I'm not. I would say until the day I die, but I'm not going to die. The Lord told me years ago I would not die, and whether you think that's arrogant or not, I don't care. I'm going to be with him forever. And even if I did, I mean, I'd be happy to go through what I need to go through to die for him. No big deal, because I know where I'm going. No big dealio. Okay, I'm not saying it to avoid anything. In fact, I'm one of the few people on YouTube or any other platform that's saying, don't just be in it to leave. Be in it to warn people and to help people and serve people. That's why I begged the Lord years ago to have me, if I'm going to do some videos or do anything, I want to serve people, show them that, and help them, bring them evidence so they can believe that not only that the evidence, the information that I'm showing and wake them up to what's really happening, but to also that there's evidence that you exist and you're telling things ahead of time. And there's a process. And once things start happening, you're going to realize the Lord said these things already and through me and through other people. And so he's real. Okay, in the meantime, but he is going to eventually burn it all. He's going to burn it all. Which side are you on? He's going to burn this bad boy down. That thing is going to be gone. All the evil is going to be gone. And he's going to set up his kingdom for 1,000 years. Where are you going to be? It says it's going to not even be, it's going to be a distant memory, or not. I think it's almost like there's several passages where it's like people won't even almost remember how, because it's going to be so far away how bad it was. I mean, I think it's going to be so good that people forget how bad it was, and all this stuff's going to be, and everything that you invested in this world is going to be just burned up and gone and forgotten. Do you want that? I don't want that. Don't do that. Invest in Jesus. That's it. That's your only option. That's your best option. Yeah, you can go do other things. That's complete foolishness. So anyway, I'm done. So I want to thank you if you still listen to me. I want to thank you, and I want to thank everybody who's ever given to me. Thank you so much. Whether it's prayer, gift of help with money or whatever. Thank you. And I'm just going to just put out there too, and just in case it takes longer, we definitely will need any kind of gift of money. If you have that, you want to give it, or you feel moved by the Lord at all, you have a link in the description box for PayPal, and even there's Zelle Pay. You can sign up at ZellePay.com. It's just like PayPal, but way better. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything like that. So also have a PO box, things like that. So thank you. And again, if you've ever any kind of positive things to say or prayer, all that, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you ever given to what I'm doing here and help support my family, put food in their mouths and everything else, thank you. Thank you. I mean, I'm really you that you gave, and you that you prayed, you that you you that prayed, you that gave, you that said an encouraging word, whatever. Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank you. So thank you. Okay, so anyway, this is Exalted Lamb 1, over and out.